What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day or night. Today I'm reacting to will RJ Barrett bring back the New York Knicks to relevancy, feature all-star question mark analysis / breakdown. Shout out to Sub Me and Coach once again. I'm gonna give you a like. I already know this video is gonna be fire. Shout out to Sub Me and Coach. Like, he's gonna have to give me a shout out. I'm reacting to all these videos out here, but RJ Barrett, of course, I'm a big Knicks fan, big believer in RJ Barrett. Made a whole video about him on my main channel. Just like the amount of points, rebounds, and assists he was able to put up, and he was like in his rookie year, the only players to have that amount was like Luka, LeBron, Kevin Durant, just like a bunch of Hall of Famers. It was just all future Hall of Famers discussion of those players in that category. It just all comes down to if the Knicks surround him with the right pieces. Everyone hates on RJ like he was inefficient, but you have to give him credit with the talent he was playing with, and like he wasn't really playing with players that complement his game that much. When RJ's the best three-point shooter in the starting lineup, that is bad. But he did get better towards the end of the season. He's athletic, he's strong, he has a great work ethic. He's continuing to get better. As long as the ownership doesn't mess it up, which they probably are, it's the Knicks, but I got RJ jersey, so that's good. But come on, RJ, please. But let's see what we got here.
RJ Barrett is regarded as a 6'7" strong slashing wing with ball handling ability. The New York Knicks drafted him in hopes of him becoming an important building block for their rebuild.
Please.
What they did in the offseason, however, hurt their draft pick more than it helped them. Nevertheless, he still managed to have a productive season, even though the efficiency wasn't really there. In this
you have to
video,
look into what he's playing with, though.
While talking about his strengths, and
he's
also
playing with
talking
no
about
player spacing the floor.
We're also gonna factor in the Knicks'
Alfred
horrible
Payton
agency decisions because it's important, and I'm sure that you all know that it affected him on the court. Now, without further ado, let's take a
such an overrated coach.
RJ Barrett's game. Let's talk about his shooting first, because currently RJ Barrett is just not a good shooter. His shooting percentage from 3 is abysmal, and
can't just look at 3-point percentage. I'm sorry, you can't.
His shooting form is inconsistent. Most of the
I agree with that.
His offense stays on the ball way too long. His footwork to get into a shot is also inconsistent as well, and it's especially bad on step backs.
Cause injury though, that's too far.
Lack of reps. He made a lot of changes in his shooting form during these past 2 years, and it's clear that he needs more practice to be efficient. His percentage from the mid-range is even worse, and I don't like the fact that more of a quarter of his shots come from that area. To add more context to that point,
there's so much pressure on him to shoot long-range shots because no one else could shoot it on that roster in the starting lineup. Mo Harkless shot 20%. Randall shot 20%. Taj Gibson shot 20%. When there's that much pressure put on you as a rookie, it's hard to shoot from beyond the arc because you're the only one that could decently, at the worst, contribute from downtown.
From 3 in the near future. He wasn't a total wreck this year though, because he shot 38% on catch and shoot attempts according to Synergy. He was never dubbed as a shooter coming into the league, so I don't think these percentages come off as a huge surprise to people. And I also think,
and I'm not saying RJ's perfect, he needs to work on his shot, but like,
and we gotta talk about the fact that there's an overwhelming amount of evidence of the Knicks players, especially the veterans.
Exactly. Freaking Julius Randle.
He's missing
Dennis
out on those
Smith Jr. Just like,
obviously hurting his efficiency. So
you have to compliment him with the right players. This is like ridiculous.
Has to improve on this aspect of his game though, because
of course I'm gonna back up RJ. RJ's my guy. I got to.
He needs to be able to hit shots and pull up jumpers. There's no way he'll be able to be a plus initiator if he's not a decent shooter. And it will also open up his driving game, which is his bread.
But yeah, if he gets a 3-point shot, I think he's going to be freaking crazy good. Hopefully he does. I think he's a great work ethic.
I'm going to give RJ Barrett some slack for his finishing numbers, which were horrible this year. He shot 54% at the rim, and he was in the 21st percentile amongst all players in his position. This is not ideal for someone whose greatest strength coming in was a slasher.
He has to watch the game,
the Knicks
though.
haven't catered to that strength though, and decided to sign a bunch
There's
of non
tons. I'm not giving excuses like I said, but there's so many plays that he doesn't get foul calls.
And they were third last in 3-point percentage.
Like I promise
It's
you.
clear that there are no driving lanes open for RJ, so he's bound to force up a
Because
lot of
the
contested
Knicks
shots.
just
However,
stink.
he also has to improve on his skill.
And I hate to say
He
that.
doesn't create much separation due to the lack of burst and ball handling ability, and he relies on his
He needs to get
strength
better at his ball
often too
handling though,
much.
for sure.
This is a positive and a negative because he's been able to draw a lot of fouls with his brute strength. He's in the 95th percentile in drawing fouls amongst wings, and that's especially impressive since opposing teams know that he's not a good shooter. There are many players who slash.
I didn't even know that was that high.
Power, and once he cleans up his
I didn't know it was that high. I guess he just drives to the basket a lot, so I expect a foul call every time.
He's just aimlessly barreling himself at the rim, but I don't think so. He knows how to use that shoulder without getting a charge call, which is extremely hard to do, especially in today's NBA. Drawing that many fouls as a rookie is also very praiseworthy because it is widely known that rookies don't get a lot of calls in the NBA.
His debut was amazing.
If he wants to be an all-star type of player that the Knicks want him to become, however, he needs to become even better at this skill. His lack of vertical explosion.
He's young, he's a rookie.
And there aren't many plays where he's playing above the rim in traffic. When he does,
because
though,
he caught
the outcome
people,
is great. But I wonder
he felt
why
people behind him, and he had to go up strong for the layup.
He
couldn't cock it back.
But he shortens his strides after
And he couldn't put two hands on the ball,
which makes his defender catch up to him. This is a nasty habit that hinders him from getting easy buckets into the lane, and it's really detrimental to his percentages. In high school, he used
people say he's really stiff,
and they were very effective. I didn't see that much of that in the NBA, so I want him to get back to using that move. Obviously, developing a floater game
really
will add
stiff,
more
though, I'll give you
versatility
that.
to his scoring too, especially
he's a
in
rookie,
the pick and
though.
roll when
He'll
they'll
get
be
better.
inviting him to take the mid-range shot. We all know about how he's left-hand dominant, and even though he tries to tell us that he's naturally right-handed, those words mean nothing if it doesn't show up on the court. As you can see on the shot chart, when he drives right, he's more likely to pull up for a jumper than to actually get to the rim, which is troublesome. He also shoots 27% when he drives right in scoring situations, while shooting 50% when he's driving left. Now you might say I'm nitpicking, but if
you could say I'm riding RJ.
Things,
you could say
he
that,
could be an
but
all-star
like,
player sooner rather than later.
That's my
With
guy.
all these criticisms that I have about his driving ability, one might think that he's doomed and just a bad finisher. However, he actually improved on this aspect over the course throughout the season. Since the new year, he shot 60% at the rim.
He's just like too aggressive at times. Sometimes he has to like kick it out. He tries to drive on everything.
I believe that if he can improve his touch and become a better
There's certain things you can't look at the numbers. You have to look at the eyeball
he could be one of the top
test.
slashers in the game. RJ's playmaking ability is why I'm so confident that he can be a secondary ball handler. He has flashes of great vision.
Exactly, he's underrated at that aspect.
He's been known to have tunnel vision problems, which was one of his knocks coming out of college. When he's focused on driving to the rim, he doesn't really pay his options any mind, so he ends up forcing shots that he's not supposed to. He's wired like a scorer, but he needs to find a balance. Most of his playmaking comes from the perimeter.
I could see that for sure.
He's a pretty above average pick and roll ball handler, and he has also developed an alley-oop connection with Mitchell Robinson.
Which is always beautiful to have.
He's also able to hit the cross-corner pass as well, but he doesn't do it on a consistent basis just yet. I would like to see him develop a better feel for the game and him become a better decision maker. He reads the floor a bit too slow for my liking.
There's a lot of work to do, but he'll put in the work. I know he will.
Watching more film and more experience as a ball handler will help with that, but he needs to become more dedicated to improving this.
That was a beautiful pass.
He's in the 86th percentile
Great example
in usage amongst wings,
so inspirational.
and he was second in usage amongst.
Look at RJ, man.
So I would like his assists per game to go up.
Oh my god.
His assist to turnover ratio is barely positive either, since he's averaging 2.6 assists and 2.2 turnovers per game. I would like to see him become a 5 assists per game type of player because I think he has the talent level for that. However, that will only happen if he becomes more willing to facilitate instead of wanting to score all the time. I think he's a smart player, so I'll figure that part out sooner.
Knox actually made a jump in his NBA career.
Now let's talk about RJ's defense. RJ Barrett wasn't a good defender in college, but he's improved a lot on his focus in his rookie season. He has all the tools to be a two-way guy. He's 6'7" with a 6'9" wingspan, and he has outlier strength that can be used.
I'm not flight, guys. I'm not delusional. I'm just messing.
He's not super quick, so
you could say I'm really delusional in this video, but when the video's playing, it's hard to really express all my thoughts. You can
He
check
gives
out
the
my
ball
main
handler
channel,
a
Noah
hard time,
Cahill.
and he contests
My whole
pretty
analysis
well.
on RJ's
He's also
rookie
pretty
season.
good at sticking with the roller if the guard does
NOAH
and can make
space
plays in the passing lane
CAHILL.
when the guard passes to the big.
This is more of
There
just like
haven't been
having
many
fun type
plays
of
of his
thing,
rim
but I am going to
protection
be
shown
serious
due
when
to
it
his
talks
lack of vertical
about basketball.
but
For sure,
positional
but
defense matters more. His reaction time is pretty good as well, and he has great hand-eye coordination. I believe he can be a very similar defender to what Harrison Barnes was when he was in Golden State, since they're very similar in build, size,
That's
and
solid
athleticism.
then. Harrison
However,
Barnes
his
is a
focus
solid
on
defender.
defense when he's off the ball is straight up bad, and he gets caught ball watching a lot. A lot of
Yeah, I've
rookies have
seen that.
problems playing defense off the ball, so this is not something to be worried about. I'm surprised that he made strides on the defensive end in just 1 year, and that speaks of his mindset and attitude about willing to get better. While we can all agree that RJ Barrett has his flaws, his talent level is unquestionable. He might not have the upside that Zion and John Moran have, but I can still see him become a multiple-time All-Star in the future. Numbers-wise, I can see him average about 25-5 on decent efficiency, depending
Give me
on
that
if he
right
changes
now.
his Mamba mentality approach to scoring the ball. The Knicks have a very
Give me that right now.
and even though he's not a guy
Right
that
now.
will be the
25 and
best,
5
maybe
right
even
now. Give me that
second best
right
player
now.
on the championship team, he'll still be a very good player for a long time. I've been watching RJ Barrett ever since high school, and the one thing that always stuck out was his mentality. He wants to win bad.
Yes, sir. Maple
willing
Mamba.
to work hard to be great. He's Steve Nash's godson, so he's seen greatness all his life, and you can tell.
Yeah, he's
that
going
he
to take
has
advice from him.
the way I want the Knicks to use RJ moving forward is for him to be more of a transition guy and use his post-up ability.
No, I'm kidding. I'm going to take away the Maple Mamba
Surprisingly been
nickname.
good already.
Because like he's not close
He
to
needs a
Kobe right
point
now,
guard
but
next to him that
he
can
wants to be
score
great like
and
Kobe,
play
and I know
make and
Kobe
take
would
the
appreciate
burden
that.
of carrying the offense, so that he can take more of an off-ball approach.
Well, we're going to react to that
Alfred
video
Payton is
next.
definitely
The
not that
grind
guy,
don't
and while
stop.
a lot of Knicks fans like Frank Ntilikina, he's not aggressive or talented enough to be that guy either. Hopefully they pick that guy in the draft and surround the pair with shooters so there's more space for RJ to thrive in. I wouldn't put that much stock into
LaMelo and
rookie season
RJ would be
because
sexy,
the
though.
team was built
That
like
would be
they're
sexy.
literally trying to make RJ Barrett look as bad as possible. Let's hope they do better, and let's hope he
Aim
improves on
it.
his shooting ability, playmaking, and finishing. But that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video,
Yo, great video.
go subscribe to the channel.
I know I did a lot of trolling in that video. I apologize. I'm just trying to bring the energy. In all seriousness, I thought RJ had a good rookie. I mean, I wouldn't say good. He had a solid rookie year. He was inefficient. But you got to realize what he was surrounded with. David Fizdale, in my opinion, is such an overrated head coach. He didn't have a system his first year of coaching. I always thought he was overrated. Defensive-minded. Had Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Marc Gasol, so-called players coach. Just because you're friends with LeBron and D-Wade doesn't mean you're players coach. What did he exactly develop? Everyone talking about he's a developmental players coach. Like, he didn't really do anything. To be honest, he had all the talent ready for him, and that's why he didn't last so long in Memphis, and that's why he didn't last so long with the Knicks. Can't develop this young talent, but the Knicks, it's hard. Getting a new coach every year, but it just showed what Mike Miller was able to do. Like, Fizdale won 17 games in his first season, and Mike Miller won 17 games, and the season wasn't even over, and he took over, like, finishing with 17 and 27 record, and the NBA season wasn't even over. RJ's going to put in the work. They just have to surround him with the right talent. But he needs to get better with his decision-making and stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.